Wow, onto a big one. I have the honor of being with May Chan from Hashpack. I feel like I need sound effects. I need a drum roll and I'll tell you why. Because of all the people that I have said on X to the community that I'm going to be talking to, I think the single most exciting one for everybody is Pack Coin from Hashpack. And also, I've been asking people a question of the other projects, and Pack is the answer to that question, which I'll be asking you later, May, and I don't want to spoil the surprise. So I'll be asking that question later, but the answer for a lot of people has been Pack. So there's a lot of excitement, especially when you consider the token doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah, that's a really fun one. I think that people are really excited for what Pack could be, and we've been very careful about slowly releasing information just because we want people to have the chance to get excited about it, to hear about it over time. And everything that we've released has been very deliberate, and my team is great. We haven't leaked anything, so everybody has a fair chance at learning about the token and participating when we finally get to the launch and all the stuff that we're doing afterwards.
Okay, amazing. So I hope we'll get to that. So I'm always honest with everybody, and I'm a big fan. So this is coming from a good place. But with my Web 2 hat on, I've always been a little bit nervous for Hashpack because I couldn't understand how it would be, what the revenue model for you would be, and how, because you've got to scale a wallet massively.
Yes.
For the tiny little incremental fees that you get, for that to actually mean anything and be a sustainable business, it's got to be massive, okay? And that's going to take time on Hedera. So the fact that you've launched a token, I think is potentially a very, very good idea, both for your own sustainability, but also as another layer to allow the community to get involved. Is that fair? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, actually, let me comment on that, because I would say that one of the tough things about making a wallet is that investors are very critical of that as a platform that can make money. I go to investors and I say, hey, look at MetaMask, look at Phantom, and they're like, those are like the top tier, like heavyweights in the space, and every other wallet is struggling, right? So why would we invest money in this? Because wallets don't make money. That's kind of like the thing that all the investors tell me, and I'm just like, well, but we're doing very well in this ecosystem. We're growing it. We've got a really great community, and it's getting more and more hype. And now we're in 2024, and the stuff that I was saying a year ago to investors is now coming true. It's very exciting. And yeah, that's absolutely true about the revenue system with wallets. It's typically revenue driven. Revenue is typically commission driven. So, if people swap in the wallet, if people do things in the wallet, then we take a small cut for the convenience. But we also provide all of the base Hedera features just like without any extra charge. If you're doing something that's just basic on the network, you don't get anything. But if you do something within Hashpack that makes it easier for you to do what you want to do, then we do take a small cut, and it's a very small cut. But the very cool thing is that since Hedera DeFi has been taking off this year, we've actually seen a huge growth in revenue. And that means huge growth in transactions on the network in volume, and huge growth in DeFi. And that's really, really, really exciting to see. And we hope to see that just continue to grow. So yeah, the token isn't really about making money. Of course, that money is going to be very useful for us to incentivize the community and build out features for Hashpack and do all the things that money can help you do. But we were very careful when we thought about launching a token and why we wanted to launch a token, where the motivations were, and money is not one of the top ones. It's a nice side effect, but it's really like what we can accomplish with it. What's the utility that we're excited about?
Okay, so let's touch on that a little bit then. So can you talk about the basics first, so the tokenomics? Do you have like a fixed market cap? Is it going to be is it going to be an infinite supply? What kind of supply are we looking at?
Yeah, a lot of that information hasn't been released yet, but I'll just share some very simple ones and hope that my team doesn't kill me. The token supply will be fixed, and I won't tell you how much it is, but it's going to be all minted at the start, and then it's going to be released per the tokenomics per release schedule, and all of that will be public before we launch the token. Let's see, we'll be launching the exact tokenomics after the INO, because if we don't sell out, then it changes how we distribute things a little bit, but not too much. And so that will be coming out after the launch, but it will be very clear, and I think people will be really happy. We've been asking a lot of people, what should we do with regards to the tokenomics, people who have launched successful projects in this ecosystem and also others. We've been very careful to do things as best we can, the right way that we can, to ensure the health of the token and, you know, make sure that people are happy. That's always been on our mind.
Okay, so I don't want to push too hard, but is it more or less than the number of H bars? Can you say that much?
Oh yeah, it's less.
Okay.
But, yeah, I guess like it's a funny question, because if you just change the decimal place, then you can affect how the token performs. But yeah, it's less, and it's I think that people are going to be fairly happy with the tokenomics when they come out. Yeah.
Okay, good. And how so are you going to give are you going to reward early adopters, sort of community members, you know, OGs in the space? How is that going to work? How do people get involved?
So so one of the things that we've been very careful about is making it so that the system can't be gamed. So that's why we are being very careful about how we release the information, because what we want to do is make sure that everybody has a clear idea of how they're going to get the token and how they can participate. And we don't want people going out and like buying a bunch of things and really disrupting the market with information before like, so for example, if there's a drop, which we've basically confirmed that there is going to be a drop of some sort, but we don't want to confirm exactly what it is before we take the snapshot, because otherwise that's going to affect things like even more severely than people have speculated now. People are already speculating which ones, but we think it's still fairly under control. But we basically just don't want to reward people for trying to game the system. So the main way to get the token for launch is to participate in our concierge collection, which we are launching more and more information, but I think the confirmed date is the first week of March that you'll be able to purchase that, and you'll be able to purchase that directly in Hashpack. And then as for rewarding loyal supporters and longtime users of Hashpack, and who exactly is a part of that, that will be released, I think, as well on the 1st, and we will see exactly who can participate. That's only less than a week from now, and we'll be putting like the reasonings behind why we've done it. But basically, it's all about our community. It's all about people that have shown that they have like really supported Hashpack and participated, and I hope that people will see that we've thought a lot about the fairness of this drop and made sure that we keep people as involved as possible. And you know, there's a lot of speculation about what that's going to be, including some that just kind of doesn't make sense if you sort of put on your thinking hat a bit. And so yeah, I hope that when it comes out, we'll put out a little bit of information on why we went through that, and I think the community will understand it.
I think you're right. There is a lot of speculation at the moment, but that kind of just goes to show the enthusiasm and sort of excitement over this token. I've got some good news for you, mate. You can tell me anything you like, because the only people who watch my videos is my dad, Christian Hasker, but he only watches the first couple of minutes. He said that to my face. And then real H barbarians. So the only people who are going to see this video are the people, exact people you're talking about that you want to reward. So if you want to, do an exclusive in this interview, absolutely feel safe and secure to do so. Okay, so we can't talk about the tokenomics in too much detail. What are the market makers, if you're using a market maker, what are they kind of advising in terms of the entry level price? Do you have any idea what that might be? Can you touch on that?
I don't, however, we are trying to. So basically, the way that I've been explained is that if you launch, like we're going to be launching a liquidity pool with part of the treasury that on launch, and we're setting that up with Saucer Swap, and there will be a period of price discovery on that pool, right? But the price that we are looking for, or that we're setting it up, is basically going to be as fair as we can with the concierge collection, so that people basically get like their I have to be very careful about this, right? Because otherwise my team and my lawyers will be very mad at me. But we want it to be fair. We want to make sure that people are feeling like they are getting what they expect, and we don't want to devalue or overvalue the token on launch. And then after price discovery, then there will be like hopefully some excitement, and then there will be more pools that are created by the community that more accurately reflect where people think the value of the token is.
Okay, understood. So can you talk about? Otherwise, this is going to be a real struggle as an interview. Can you talk a little bit about the hopefully the utility and some of the plans you have? Because this isn't a meme coin, is it? This is a utility coin.
It
so
is.
Can you touch on some of the utility? So the coin come out now, everybody's happy, it's done great things. What's it for?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is actually something I can talk more in depth about, because we've been releasing information about the utility of the token and of the collectibles throughout this time. So the main thing is that you could see Pack as a loyalty token, a rewards token, right? And basically the idea is that you'll be using Hashpack, and the stuff that you do in the wallet will reward you with Pack. So if you're swapping in the wallet, if you're listing on the marketplace, that one might be sometime in coming. But basically, we want to reward you if you're using our services. We are taking there's a fee for the convenience of using it in the wallet. Part of that fee is returned to the user in terms of Pack token. And right now, I think launch, we are just doing the swap, but we have lots of other things that we want to use Pack for that basically is about using the token and passively getting Pack for using Hashpack, sort of like getting points when you go to Starbucks and you buy a coffee, and then you get a few points, and then later on you can get something with those points. We have some very easy ways to spend Pack in the wallet, which is you can buy some themes. We might have some exclusive themes for Pack. But those are kind of like the base level stuff, but we want to build out more and more ways to use it. And we have actually some exciting things planned, which I just cannot say because Tyler will kill me, or Pluto will kill me. But we really have a really nice roadmap around making Pack really fun and making people more connected in the community. We really want to build this space, build the NFTs out, and make people happy. So that's kind of Pack token. There'll also be, of course, ways to provide liquidity, and that has its own sort of rewards around that. We're working with Saucer Swap on that. We're working with some other partners, and basically, hopefully there'll be ways to use the token that is not just inside the wallet. The other thing that we have is governance. So we wanted to have a way of letting the community participate more formally in some of the things that we do at Hashpack. And so we are going to allow people who hold the token to vote on various initiatives. So let's say that there are a few things that we want to do, but we don't know which features are most important to the community. We put out a vote and let people do that. Another thing that we discussed is if there are some dApps that are coming up, letting people vote in dApps. and that will show up in the store, things like that, that really kind of help the community weigh in on the Hashpack experience. So that's one way that you can participate in that. And people who hold the concierge collection will also have a small multiplier attached to that. So basically there's a benefit to having that, and then it gives you a little bit more weight in when you vote on things in Hashpack. So that will come out after the launch, and we'll be putting out more information on that. In terms of other utilities, there's some cosmetics that we are going to be having. Not sure exactly what it is, but we hope to do something interesting with the concierge collection that isn't just another theme, although it might also include a theme. Not sure yet, that's still in production. And then more utilities coming out as time goes on. And of course you get hacked from getting it.
So it's basically an engagement then. So you can engage in a more visceral way with Hashpack. You can make some decisions, you can have a vote. So that's really interesting and a good way to tie the community together and also reward them at the same time. So I think that's a really worthwhile endeavor on your part. Do you know yet, is there going to be a lockup period? Who's going to be in charge of the treasury? Is it a board that you're going to appoint or have appointed? Is it going, is it yourselves? How's that going to work?
It is ourselves, but we are setting up contracts, smart contracts, to handle the vesting and the distributions, that kind of thing. And that will also be released, the schedule and all of that will be released within time. It is within the team. It is something that Hashpack is launching. So we do want to make sure that we can control it so that we can have a healthy token. We want to make an ecosystem out of it. And so that's to start. Who knows what will happen in the future, but at the very least, we want to make sure that the launch of the token is healthy and the first few months are going to be good. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that we are also actively looking for community projects to work with and to have participate in our token and in our concierge collection. So one of the ones that we are announcing today is that we are teaming up with Dovu. And basically, if people hold the concierge collection, then they will get a boost when they stake Dovu on the Dovu platform. And that is a bonus that just, if you hold it, you get it if you want to participate with Dovu. And we hope to have other such things in the future. So basically, lots of ways to sort of multiply your engagement in the community. If you're doing things in the Hedera ecosystem, then we want to enable that. And that's basically been our main strategy across the spaces. We want to just amplify what everyone else is doing, because that's basically what a wallet is.
Exactly that. Yeah, fantastic. So, okay, time to ask you the question that I've been asking everybody along the way. You have to choose 3 other tokens, HTS tokens. You can't choose Pack. You can either give me your top 3 in order or in no specific order. What are 3 coins that you personally, that's May, not Hashpack, you personally are a big fan of, and why?
Okay, so the first one that I'll say is Sauce. I think Sauce is great. I think the team is fantastic, really knowledgeable, really open, and they are the reason that DeFi is kicking off right now. We wouldn't be here without Saucer Swap. So I think Sauce has a really great utility, really great future, and I'm a fan of them. I will say that I don't buy tokens. I just watch the space, but I think that Sauce has a really great utility. So I think that's a great one, and I like the team. The second one is Karate Combat, the Karate token, and that is because I think it's super cool that you can participate in voting for things. I think they did a vote on one of their rules recently, and people voted, and they took the result, and that's changed the rules that people competed with in their ring or in their pit. And then recently they did their Bitcoin crypto influencer event and had BitBoy out there beating the crap out of people. That was really fun, and we had our Discord community just sitting in a channel and restreaming it and watching it and getting really hype about all of these influencers just coming in and showing a good show. That was really fun. So I think that karate has a fun use case, and I think that that's really important. And they, yeah, just like being able to bet with funny internet money on the results of a fight that you watch on TV, like I think that that's makes it very unique and very fun. So I think that that's my number 2. My number 3, I think I'll put it. First 2 are easy, and I had a bunch in my mind around that. Let me hop into my list of tokens here. Those 2 are easy. Number 3, I was going to say Dovu, because I think that Dovu has been very solid in their thing, and there's a lot of utility. But it's also it's also not fun, I suppose. And I'm a DJ at heart. I not in the trading sense, but in like kind of the hype sense. I really like things that are fun to do.
It's okay to say Ralph. It's all right.
But I won't say Ralph because it's just not a cute token. Like, couldn't we have a cute meme coin that picked up in the space? But we have Grelf, and I've bugged the guy who started Grelf many times on this, and he's just like, hey, you can't help what people like. So yeah.
So what's your third pick? Oh, May, I've got to push you.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Steam. I'm gonna go with Earthlings. I think that team has been really trying to build out a strong community and a really good looking game. They've really put a lot of effort and passion into this. And they've also had a really great run on the marketing side, Web3 style marketing with NFT drops and getting people really enthusiastic and informed about what they're doing. So I think that they're getting a lot of points from me for just being a really great Web3 project and a really great team. So that's my third, I guess.
Well, let me tell you, just before this interview, I was with Joey from Earthlings London. He couldn't speak highly enough of you and your team, and he actually asked me to say hi to you. So there we go. So the love is mutual. So that's always nice to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, we work really closely with them, and hopefully we'll continue to find collaborations. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to say to the community whilst I've got you? Because I know we haven't spoken actually before, have we? Despite being so close in the ecosystem and things, it's unusual. You were saying just off camera before we started that you were right. We haven't actually spoken before. I've met Jacob probably too many times. I'm joking. Jacob, if you're watching this, I'm joking. But is there anything you want to say to the community while we're together?
Yeah. I think I just want to thank the community for being so supportive of us and so communicative over time, like not just since the announcement of our token, but just in the past. We really cherish all of the stuff that you guys say, especially when you come into the server, the Discord server, or on Twitter, and you say, hey, this is a problem that we're having with Hashpack. Can you guys fix it? Or can you make it easier? And we love that kind of feedback. We think it is unusual for apps to get that kind of engagement from people. People usually just, if they don't like an app, they don't use it, right? You don't put a bad rating, you just don't use it at all. You move on. So having a community that engages with us and tells us what they like and what they don't like is fantastic. And I think that it's made Hashpack better. And so we listen really closely, and there's a lot of hype and a lot of speculation and a lot of, theories about what Pack could be. And I love to see it. And I just thank the community for being so patient with us and for trusting us to do our best to launch this token as fairly and as professionally as we can. That means a lot to me. So thanks. And I hope that we'll have a great launch and a great future for Pack and for the Hedera ecosystem.
That couldn't have said it better. Yeah, absolutely. The community is fantastic, and the fact that, like you say, they are in what other industry, and even in Web3 in a lot of communities, where else people just don't use what they don't like. But with you're very fortunate, and as are many other projects, that they get that feedback, that time, that effort, and if they're wise enough to take that and run with it, then they're just going to get stronger and stronger, and the community feels empowered, so they're more likely to engage, which is fantastic. Do you have a precise date yet for the launch of Pack?
It's going to be, I think the schedule is, okay, so there's two. There's the INO, which I think is very first week of March. And then I think the launch is going to be sometime in April. And that is something that Jacob has said many times. So I think that we can aim for that. So we're basically like less than 2 months out. It's a very short timeline, but we really want to just hit the ground hard and let this thing run. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. How exciting. Okay, where do people go to learn more? Obviously, a lot of people watching this will already have a Hashpack, but
Yes.
just in case somebody's watching this who doesn't, where's the best place to get started? Where can they learn more about Hashpack?
The number one way that we release news is on our Twitter, which is at Hashpack app. We also have links to that in our website, which is hashpack.app. And those are probably the best ways. The other way is if you're more tech savvy, you can go on Discord and talk to us directly there. And if you guys have any issues or problems or questions, there's our support lines. You can either message us directly on Twitter or Discord. We have a support bot in Discord. You can also go to our website and there is a chat bot in the bottom right corner, but it's not a bot. It's actually manned directly by our staff. So you'll get personalized service there, and we try very hard to make sure that everybody gets heard. Those are the only ways to get support. So don't try talking to some account that calls themselves Hashpack support. That's not us. It is definitely like either a ticket on the Discord server or talking to the bot on the Hashpack site. And make sure you do have the official Hashpack site, because there are fake sites out there and we're doing what we can to take them down. But yeah, this is a really kind of scary world. And the more successful that we get, the more people try to take advantage of that. So make sure you're on the official site, make sure you're on the official Discord, and then you guys will be good. And we're also always trying to find ways to make that even easier. So if you have any ideas, just send us a line.
May, thank you so much for your time. It's been really, really interesting. And I think you guys are fantastic. You already know that. Everybody thinks what you're doing so great. You've single-handedly onboarded, or at least made the whole process of onboarding far easier for the entire community. So thank you very much for that. And I know that your project, your new Pack token project, will be a raging success. Having spoken to all the other creative people and thought leaders in the space, they all concur that Pack is the one to watch. So I'm very, very excited to see what happens. And I might be saving up to get myself one of these concierge NFT collections.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, mate. Take care.